guys, welcome to the Wheelhouse Weekly. You guys know that I've been dealing with generator issues for a little while now, bolts breaking, all that annoying stuff. Finally have it back operational again. As you can see, I still have things to do on it, but at least we're not stranded without a generator anymore, or at least not making very many amps. So you can see I've redone the whole tensioning system, the whole bracketry system. I've got the alternators are actually mounted in cradles now, and all 4 bolts are being used to hold the alternators up. And I no longer have a spring-loaded tensioner here, because what I've done is on one of the alternators I've used stretch belts, and on the other one I've used regular belts. So all of that additional flex and tensioning is just done within the belt system, so I don't need a spring on the tensioner anymore. So I've got a proper heavy-duty solid tensioner up here, and it seems to work great. You can see I've got one of the Pentex alternators in here right now because I still have a damaged fan on the Delstar that's normally here, and having a little bit of a difficult time getting in touch with the guys at Delstar. I think they're avoiding my calls at this point and my emails. So I'm 3 emails in with Delstar and I've had 0 response back. So yeah, we're slowly piling through stuff. I've done a little bit more on stabilizer stuff, mainly just shifting over solenoids on the valve packs and things like that, trying to figure out where things are going. I've got the oil tank mount back on the back wall. I've got the oil tank sitting up in it back there. What else? I've done some straightening up and cleaning up. Let's see here. I'll show you guys. So there'll be some painting that I'll have to do, but you can see the tank and the bracket are back in position up here. That's actually nice enough. It's the original position for that mount as well. So good there. Gonna make some changes to the tank, but I think it's gonna work out well. Other than that, been taking stock on what fittings I need to complete the fuel system. And yeah. Oh, sorry, I forget. I fixed the intermittent squeak on Stella. That ended up being a just paint on the pulley, on the main balancer pulley. I was able to get a wire wheel in there on a drill and just knock that stuff off, and that went away. So Stella's happy. Porsche, I've got the belt off. I'm working on modifying the bracket for that. I've also got new bearings on order for those, because the ones that are in there, I'm not 100% sure if they're fully lubricated bearings. They do have cage or seals on them, but I'm just going to go ahead and replace them to be on the safe side.
Why are you replacing them?
I don't know if you guys saw the Q&As. Somebody had mentioned on the last video about the belt system that the Detroit pumps were made to run a bearing that was lubricated by the engine oil because it was mounted into the back of the engine. So it got me wondering whether or not I had the correct bearings in there. So I did take them apart. I did look. They're not open bearings. They do have a cover on them. I think they're a non-contact seal, which aren't as good as contact seal for keeping all that in. So I've got actual contact seals on the way. They're not made for high RPM, but those aren't spinning high RPM anyway. So cross fingers, that'll all work out well. Those bearings should be here soon. I'll get those swapped out. So that's one more thing off my plate. I've got new seals on the way for those as well. So lots of things going on. Like I said, we don't have a lot of time left, so it's crunch time.
What are you doing to get prepared, like spare part wise and stuff?
I'm ordering a bunch of spare parts. I've got, oh man, I've got a list on the way. And unfortunately I can't remember any of it right now, but mainly like filters, some spare parts for the engines, sensors, yeah, just lots going on.
And what was the coolest purchase yesterday? Our newest crew member.
Oh yeah, we've got Ruby. That's what we decided on for name. We picked up a 2003 Honda Ruckus scooter that's going to be coming with us because, you know, sometimes hitting up on shore and going up logging roads, it'd be nice to have something to get us places fast so we can check out more. So yeah, looking forward to playing around with Ruby a bit there, and hopefully fits up on the upper deck quite well. And I think we're going to be getting a second one too, because we got 3 people we got to carry around, and 3 people are not going to fit on Ruby.
Hey everyone! It is a bit scary that we're leaving in 4 weeks, which means our Bon Voyage party is coming up very quick. So if you're in town, it is July 5th from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock on board. We've got a couple of kegs of beer from our favorite brewery, Category 12. And I'm going to have a heck of a lot of chips because I'm not cooking that day because we're going to be so busy. But what we've been doing is getting the boat ready for the party, plus just to go. So you can see, I'm going to show you my deck. This is what I've been working on. The plugs are still up. It's kind of like stepping on Lego when you step on one of those. So I've got to cut them off. That'll be today. We are also fixing the rail a little bit. I just hit it with 60. I'm going to hit it with 220 probably, or 120, get it a bit smooth. I am not going to put varnish on it. It is so difficult to keep varnish on teak rails in Pacific Northwest. However, when we get to warmer climes, I promise you all these rails will be nicely varnished. Blaine has also been fixing the rails because this one had popped up. So we put screws down through, which I have to plug, and I'm going to recaulk right here. So that's going to look good. Punga's in the water. We've been using Punga, which is kind of fun. What else? Oh, yes. This is huge. So when we took off the railings and redid them, we took off the handrail. And anybody who's come on board knows that we always warn you saying, the handrail is not attached, be very careful. Well, guess what? It's attached. Thank you so much to our friend Jason Demi, who gave us some mounts that he wasn't using anymore on his boat. And look, it is solid. So when I go flying down the steps in the wintertime, I can grab onto that if there's snow. Also, the steps have also been pretty narrow because about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I took the wood off it. The wood was getting cracked. It was starting to get all, water was stuck underneath and it was starting to degrade the aluminum. Look at. So you can see where water was starting to degrade the aluminum. So what happened is I have now epoxy barrier coated them and we have new steps to go on. So I think that's going to be our goal one night this week or on the weekend. I was just laughing because I just noticed that Maggie has been coming down these steps pretty quick. And look, we've got like scratches from her nails. Speaking of Maggie, it is a lot more difficult since August 1st last year to get a dog into the United States. Maggie is a rescue from Mexico. She has not been microchipped. So guess what happened yesterday? She's pissed at me is basically what happened. So I took her to the vet. She got microchipped, which was actually a fairly big needle, and they inserted it under her back neck area there. And she had to have her rabies shots and stuff. So we are all set with getting Maggie into the States, even though I did hear from friends of ours who took 5 boats down there for the weekend in Roche Harbor. And my sister, or they're my sister's friends, but my sister says they actually got boarded and searched by the Coast Guard and dogs, and they weren't allowed to come into Roche Harbor. Like they weren't allowed to clear on the app. They actually had to go to Friday Harbor to clear in. So it's going to be interesting to see when we go to Roche Harbor on the 17th of this month, what happens. The other friends with boats that had Nexus cards, which, you know, you're kind of a already approved visitor into the States with your Nexus card. Well, they actually got boarded at sea before they actually anchored or docked, and the Coast Guard came on board and searched them. So that was 5 boats, I think, all of them searched. There might be more to the story. I don't know. We still have a cruising permit from last December when we went down there that's still valid. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. So I'm really trying to get my T's crossed and my I's dotted before we cross the border to see what happens. I also thank gosh for this brochure that this lovely man in Anchorages, when we went down to meet, to get fuel and meet Lawson and Jason and Rod. He gave me the brochure of what fruits and vegetables I can bring down. So I'm really going to cross my T's, dot my I's on that and make sure we don't have any of that on board. Whew, that was a lot of talking. But yes, we've been really busy. We're so excited. And then with our membership opened, thank you for everybody who's joined with Fourth Wall on our membership on Onboard Tangaroa. And you've got the crew-only gear, and our other gear has launched. Hoodies, sweatshirts, hats are coming. We just had to redo the embroidery. Joe's going to be the first one to get a hat to see how the embroidery is on it. But yes, things are moving along quite well. And we're designing the Great Siberian Sushi Run swag merchandise. It's coming. But if you are going to be here for the party, again, July 5th, 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock at Brentwood Bay Marina, we would love to have you on board. I'm anticipating quite a few people, which means I got a couple kegs, and it's going to be a good time. There'll also be some draw prizes. Anyways, we'll see you guys. Thank you so much. Again, we couldn't have these channels without you, so we really appreciate your support. And it's going to be a crazy 4 weeks. Oh, and you know why it's going to be crazy? In-laws are coming. Blaine's brother is coming, and Izzy's graduating. All in the next 4 weeks. Crazy. Anyways, we'll see you guys soon.